Welcome to the Unemployed Journeyman, episode 1. And in this episode, we need to go and find a job because I've got no coaching badges, very minimal qualifications or attributes, and I have no idea what country or league I'm going to end up in. All I do know is it won't be in England. Welcome to the video and welcome to the series. Now there's quite a few things that I need to go through with you about how this series is going to work. While I do that, please leave a like on the video. It would mean so much to me if you could like this video. It's the first episode of a new series. It'll help push it out to people. We're kind of halfway through the FM cycle, so people start dropping off round about now. So yeah, if you could leave that like, I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel as well. That would also mean a lot. And yeah, about this series, so obviously we start unemployed. If we have a look at my profile, you'll see just how little we actually are. So on the profile, we are a half-a-star reputation manager. We have no coaching badges, a former Sunday League footballer. And on our attributes, we have 1 for everything, with the exception of tactical is 3, working with youngsters is 3, adaptability is 2, determination is 2, and youngster knowledge is 3. Everything else is a flat 1. We have no knowledge. Well, I mean, we have no knowledge anyway, but our only knowledge that we do have is of England. The whole aim of this series, we want to go around the world. We want to manage everywhere and anywhere, and we want to get some of this lit up so we have knowledge of other countries as well. We can, in terms of our languages, our characteristics, language spoken, at the moment it's obviously just English and we're fluent. I think that's being generous. I wouldn't call myself fluent, but anyway, hopefully we get some other languages in there as well. Now, I don't even know if I'm going to get a job. I mean, spoiler alert, if you're seeing this video, we have got a job. We will get a job by the end of this video. And then tomorrow's video will be the first video of us at our new club, getting to meet them and all that sort of stuff. Now, if we have a look at the leagues that have been loaded, I have actually wrote this down, that we have 27 nations and 60 leagues loaded into this database. It's 138,000 players approximately in this database. And I wasn't aware until I actually loaded the game up that it says here exceeds the recommended limit of 125,000. Now, my computer performance is 5 stars. I've got a pretty decent computer. When I recommend game speed to people, I usually say to people, don't go below 2 stars. Otherwise, it's going to seriously drag. I'm on half a star. So there may come a time where I need to take out some of these leagues. If I do that, obviously, I'll let you know so that you see how the game's going. It just depends how long it takes me to get from game to game, from week to week, day to day, that sort of thing. But as you see, we've got a whole range of nations loaded. We've got South American countries like Argentina and Brazil and Chile, Colombia. I think we've got Uruguay down here. Yeah, Uruguay's in there. We've got Australia. We've got European countries like Croatia, Austria, Belgium, France. You know, we've also got the home nations, England, Scotland, Wales and Ireland. What I am going to say about this series is we will not be managing in England, at least at the very start. The first job we get, we will not be applying for any jobs in England, okay? I want this to be different to bottoms up, and if I get a job managing in Sky Bet League 2, then we're basically just doing another version of bottoms up. I want this to be different to bottoms up, which is the other Journeyman series that we've just finished. Playlist is available on the channel. So yeah, we're just going to apply for jobs that we see, and hopefully we can get a job in some weird and wonderful league with some weird and wonderful rules, because my experience on FM, I've been playing it ever since it was invented, but I've been playing it back in the Championship Manager days and whatever else. But I very rarely venture outside of England. And if I do, it will be to Germany and the Bundesliga, or France and Ligue 1, or La Liga in Spain, Portugal's Premier League I've managed in. But I've never been to anywhere in South America. I've never been to Australia or Japan. We've got the J League in this as well. You know, I've never been to any of these other weird, you know, I've never been to Serbia or South Africa or Uruguay. So this is going to be something different for me, and hopefully it's something different for you guys as well. And let me know in the comments what your experiences are of managing teams in other countries. Is it something you don't really do? Is it something you always do on Football Manager? Is that your first save every time a new Football Manager comes out? Do you go into a weird and wonderful league? You know, you might go to the Mexican expansion league and you forge a career for yourself there or something. Let's see. Now, the way it's going to work is obviously we have our inbox and we have a job centre and we need to get to the job centre. Now, the first thing I do need to do is filter the jobs. We don't want anything other than manager jobs. We don't want assistant manager or set piece coach or anything like that. We don't want international and we don't want international youth. We'll leave the nations as they are and the leagues and all that sort of stuff. So, I mean, I could filter it more by taking out the top leagues like the Premier League and Bundesliga and all that, because we're obviously not going to get a job in there as our first one. But this is basically what we start off with. These are the jobs that are currently available to us. And I think we probably need to start in what would be a bottom league in each country. And so if we look at Juventud de la Piedras, I mean, I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to be doing a lot of wrong pronunciations. They're in the Uruguayan second professional division. No idea. Is that the bottom league in their thing? Yes, it is by the looks of it. Now, where have we gone? Come back. Go back. There we go. Now, Diego Forlan, former Manchester United player, is 1 to 20 for that job. So I don't think there's really much point me applying for that one, to be honest. Turkish League 1. So that's not the bottom division. There is a League 2, but we haven't got that loaded. So we could go... We could go for that one, for Umranispor. Let's just apply for a job. We're just going to apply for a load of jobs. Then we've got South African National First Division Championship. That looks like it's the bottom league in there. So they are currently 10th in that. I don't know how many teams there are in that league. I didn't actually look. 16. So they're about mid-table, I suppose, aren't they? So, and that's for Marumo Gallants. So let's give that an apply as well. South African Premier, probably not going to apply for a Premier League thing. Is there actually something on here where you can... I thought there might be something where it tells you what the... I mean, Sundowns win this league very often, don't they? How are they doing this season? Oh, the season hasn't started. So yeah, I thought there would have been something where you can actually see what star rating each league gets. You know, what its reputation is. That's what I'm trying to say. So, doesn't look like it. I mean, there probably is somewhere. I just don't know where it is because I don't really often look for it. But Swallows, they're in the Premier League. So Milford FC are in the South African First Division again. So we can probably apply for Milford. I mean, at the moment, Turkey and South Africa are our likely destinations. That's another Premier League. Then you've got Black Leopards. Oh, I like the sound of that. Can we get a job at Black Leopards? I mean, Joseph is favourite for that job. Like, Serbian First League, is that... Okay, so you've got the Serbian First League and the Serbian Super League. So we're going for a job in the Serbian First League with Miodost Gat. Again, I don't know. Redniki are also in the First League, so we're going to apply for a job with them. How many jobs we apply for? Like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can guarantee you if I get an interview, it will be from someone saying to me, you're in for a lot of jobs at the moment. Well, yeah, someone that's unemployed does tend to be in a lot of jobs. Right, so we've got a Japanese J3 league here. Yokohama, YSCC. Why am I thinking of YMCA? Fukushima is a J3 league as well. Bundesliga, well, I think HSV are a bit too much of a high reputation. The same with a club in League 2. I think that's probably... We're not applying for English clubs. The Brazilian National Second Division, is that the lowest one? It's the lowest playable one, yeah. I really need to work out how to find the star rating for these leagues because the Brazilian national second division is not the second best league, the eighth best league in world football. I know that much. Right, let's get back to where we were. Right, where were we? Gua. I mean, Adilson Batista is 10-3 for that job, but you never know. Bit of Brazilian football. The Belgian First National Amateur Division with Young Reds. We could apply for that one, I suppose. The Belgian Pro League. No, we're not good enough for the Pro League. Winkle Sport. We'll apply for the job. Olympic Charleroi. We can apply for a job there. That's the Australia. So there's only one league in Australia. So we'll go for Brisbane Roar. I don't think we're going to get a job in a top league, but I mean, it is only the Australian Isuzu UTE A League. And then the Argentine second division. What have we got here? So you've got the second division and the Premier League. So it's just two leagues there, basically. So, oh my, there's more. There's groups. Oh, that could be quite interesting. That's the kind of thing I'm looking for. So where you go into a league and there's just, it turns out it's not a league, it's groups, or there's weird playoff rules and things like that. Right, we'll apply for a job there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we've applied for 14 jobs. And if we go to our inbox now, it will tell us that various different people have received our application. So Umrania Sport job application received, and there's been a media link. I don't know if that's good that there's been a link. I am currently unemployed. A question from the Turkish Football Express. Can you comment on rumours that you have applied for the Umrania Sport job? It would be a fantastic opportunity and any manager worth their salt would be interested. I'd be honoured to be considered. There you go. We'll say that one. Gallants have received it. Milford have received it. Black Leopards. So they're all receiving our applications. At the moment, it hasn't come up with an instant rejection. So that's got to be a good thing. Now, what I'll do is I'll play through until we get, I'll say play through, I mean, I'll be clicking continue until we get any offers of an interview or rejections or whatever else. And I'll bring you back for that. I'll also show you an interview and the questions that they ask at the interviews. I'm probably not going to show you more than just the one interview because Football Manager being Football Manager, all the questions are going to pretty much be the same. And if I'm just sitting here showing you 30 job interviews, A, it's going to be a very long video, and B, it's going to be a very boring video. So, yeah, I'll bring you back when we've got some more news. Okay, so good news and bad news. The bad news is that Olympic Charleroi and Estudiantes, my job application has been unsuccessful. Estudiantes, I think, is the one where Diego Forlan was the 20-1 odds-on favourite for it or something. Charleroi, I thought would probably be a bit out of their range. Now, what I have done also is if we come a bit further down, there's whenever a manager gets sacked, you get notified that they've been sacked. Now, obviously, this one here, Fernando Diniz of Fluminense or Flu, they play in the Brazilian First Division. There's no point me applying for that because that's the First Division in Brazil. Whereas if you look at this one with Raul Cabral sacked by Tom, they're in the Second Division. We did apply for this job because it's in a division that we might stand a chance of getting. Then you got this one here is the J2 League. I'm only applying for jobs in the J3 League, so I've not applied for that one. What I will say, by the way, is I love these kits. I think these kits look awesome in the Japanese J League. Gremio is another one that's in the First Division, so we didn't bother applying for that one. There was another one we applied for. I can't even find where it is now. But like this one here is in the Swedish First Division. I went to apply for it, but unfortunately I can't because I think I must have hit a limit as to how many jobs I can apply for. So yeah, Charleroi unsuccessful, failed to make a shortlist. That's all they've really said to me. Then Estudiantes, the board decided against shortlisting you in part due to holding reservations about your suitability to deliver the club's vision for the future. This is mainly as a result of your slight lack of experience. I mean, I'm not going to get experience if I never get a job, so that's a feeble excuse in my opinion. But The good news, we have an interview. Marumo Gallants. Now, where are they? South African National First Division Championship. Their league hasn't started yet. That one hasn't started yet. So in terms of the actual club itself, they've got a 20,000 capacity stadium. So that's pretty decent. They play on grass. The stadium's in good condition. It's the Dr. Rantlai Petrus Molamela Stadium. Again, it's in Bloemfontein. Again, if you're South African, I really apologise for getting that wrong, because I know I have. But also, if you are South African, you know anything about Marumo Gallants as a football club, let me know. I'll be fascinated to hear what they're about. Don't know if we're going to get a job there yet, but let's go to the interview. Like I say, it's probably going to be the only interview I'm going to show you. But hello, Damien. We've invited you along today so we can put forward our vision for the club and allow you to suggest any alterations for us to consider should we decide to hire you. Now, I will say the answers I give here, they're a 2-star national team, by the way. Any answers I give to questions here are going to be exactly the same at every other interview, just so that way I stand the same chance based on the answers I'm given. So that's another reason why I'm not going to show you every interview we get. So it's great to be here. Let's get started. How would you overcome the relatively big obstacle of not speaking the language? I don't think it's something to worry about. I can learn the language in time. Or it's a relatively easy language to learn and I should be able to pick up bits and pieces pretty quickly. I'm not worried. Football transcends language and there won't be any communication problem. I'm fairly adept at learning languages. This would simply be another string to my bow. I quite like that answer because I think that seems the better one of the convince. I don't want to compromise, but from convince, it doesn't matter if I speak the language or not. I mean, I'm not going into an interview with an attitude. I think, because this one, it's relatively easy language to learn and I should be able to pick up bits and pieces pretty quickly. Is that going to offend Abram Cello that I'm saying his language is easy to learn? I'm not worried. Football transcends language and there won't be any communication problems. Kind of sounds a bit dismissive, really. So I'm fairly adept at learning languages, even though I can only speak English and I can't even speak that very well. This would simply be another string to my bow. I think that's the one I'm going to go with. So I need to remember that's the one I've gone with for any other interviews I might get. Right, next question. Can you explain why you appear to be in the running for a few jobs right now? I told you that was going to be a question. I know it might look, so it's up to you as to whether it rules me out of contention. I am more than prepared to withdraw from them all if it's a red line. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm doing whatever I can to keep progressing. I'm exploring my options. Exploring my options seems a logical one for me. If the jobs are vacant, I think it's fair to explore those options. Right now, that's nobody else's business but mine. I mean, could you imagine it? You're sitting there in an interview. Why are you in for so many jobs, man? Well, I don't think it's any of your business. It's only mine. Yeah, I'm exploring my options. We'll go with that one. The club is looking to hire a manager comfortable working with limited resources. Oh, no. Are you that manager? Well, I'm not going to say no, am I? I'll do the right thing with the club's money. That sounds like a challenge I'm up for. I'll focus on the football and let everything else take care of itself. That's quite interesting. That sounds like a challenge I'm up for is the one I'm leaning towards. I'll do the right thing with the club's money. I mean, it's between them two for me, but I think that sounds like a challenge I'm up for is the right one to go with. Well, here we go. So our long-term vision outlines the next few years for the club. You will be tasked with bringing this to life if you get the job. Did you have any thoughts or ideas regarding it? So they want to strive to make progress on and off the pitch. They want to work within the wage budget that is required. Grow the club's reputation is favoured. End of the current season, reach the South African National First Division Championship Playoff Mini League. Oh, okay. So you get to the playoffs and then there's a mini league in the playoffs is what I'm assuming. And that's required. There's no negotiating with that. That's required. Be competitive in the SA Cup. That's preferred. And then you go on to next year where you gain automatic promotion for the South African Premiership to the South African Premiership. So you don't have to get promoted this season. You just have to get to the playoff mini league. Okay. And then look to build on promotion, blah, 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 blah. I think it's an exciting vision and shows that the club has a right level ambition. I mean, it would indicate that they're not a bad team. So we'll agree to that one. Should you be hired, the expectation is for the club to challenge for a playoff berth. Is that fair, or do you think you could improve upon that somewhat? I'll agree. If given the job, I think that challenging for a playoff spot is a suitable expectation to achieve. We'll agree to it. We're not going to exceed expectations. What do you think of a proposed transfer budget of 62,082? Should you get the job? I mean, it's not going to buy me anyone, I wouldn't have thought, but we're probably going to be going on free transfers. I mean, there's no point even worrying about the rest of it because you're only going to agree. So I think the proposed transfer budget is realistic and would give me the funds needed to bring the squad up to scratch if hired. Yep, we'll go with that one. Would a proposed wage budget of £11,308 per week be sufficient should you get the job? What? 11,000 a week? So basically, if I'm having a 22-man squad, they can't be on more than £500 a week each, or whatever that works out as in, is it South African rand? Well, I'm going to have to say yes, but that seems very small. Do you have anything for us to consider should we decide to hire you? Not that I can think of. That should do it for the moment. Leave the meeting. Thank you very much. So there you go. We've had an interview with Marumo Gallant. Now, what I will say is that until we know what's going on with other jobs we've applied for, we're not going to just, if they come back and say, here you go, the job's yours, you got it, we won't just accept it straight away. We will wait to see what else comes in and then take a pick from that. So we might delay a few of them, but I'll let you know as of when that happens. So yeah, I'll see you next time there's either a job interview or an offer of a job. Okay, we've got another couple of job interviews have come in. We've also had Gua has been unsuccessful. The board decided against shortlisting you part to have reservations about your suitability to the club's somewhat scaled back vision for the future, mainly as a result of your slight lack of experience in leading teams to promotions, the same as the other one. We've then got, there's two other jobs we've applied for. So we've applied for Sagamihara in the Japanese J3 League. They're 20th of the J3. Oh my word. So they're bottom of the J3 League and they're approaching the halfway point in the season. I mean, they're not miles away, but they are bottom. I think we applied for Fukushima as well and Yokohama. So we could be in for a season of struggle here if we go to the J3 League, but I'm up for it. And this one as well, Raufoss is Norwegian First Division. I don't have any expectation that we'll get an interview for that one, but it's somewhere else to add to our CV. You know, we're applying for jobs in South Africa and in Japan and wherever else, and that's just another country. So I've got Young Reds have offered me a job interview. If we have a look at Young Reds, oh, they're in Belgium as well. Are Antwerp FC under 23? What? I'm confused. I mean, they're playing in front of 14,500 people. Stadium's only average. They are in the First National Amateur Division. I hope I'm not getting myself into something here where I'm with a... I mean, Young Reds are... I mean, the season hasn't started, so it doesn't matter about where they are in the league. But, okay, we'll come across that as a problem if it becomes one. And Milford FC is another South African club in terms of where they, again, it hasn't started, so there's no point looking at the league. So I'm going to do these job interviews. We do also get this where you get a weekly jobs update come through and it tells you about current jobs that you may want to apply for. For some reason, I can now no longer apply. Did I already apply for that one? Yeah, I already applied for that one. So I can apply for Standard de Liège 16 FC. Battle against relegation from... So they're in the Pro League, are they? Is that just Standard Liège, but it's got a fancy name? I mean, they're playing in front of 30,000 people. I mean, that's a Belgian Pro League, so I'm probably not going to apply. It's only 2-star reputation club, though, to be fair. So, do you know what? Let's just apply for it. Why not? And they've received their application. Right, I'm going to go for these interviews and I'll bring you back when there's any kind of update. Okay, so I know I said I weren't going to bring you back for other job interviews, but We've got a job interview from Standard de Liège, or however you pronounce it. And we've got to the question about the wage budget. How does a wage budget, this is wage budget, not transfer budget, how does a wage budget around zero sound to you? I mean, I want to say, do the players know they're playing for free? I don't know how I can have a wage budget of zero at a football. Sure, I mean, they're a 3-star reputation club, by the way. I will just show you something in a second. I mean, I'm going to agree to it, obviously. That's the end of the interview. We have got another interview with Yokohama. There has been a couple of questions that have been different, not many. They are basically the same. If we have a look at interviews, I can show you the interviews that we've had. So you know about that one. We've been unsuccessful on a few others. Tom has given us a job interview. I think that's obviously Brazil by the Brazilian National Second Division. And Brisbane Roar was unsuccessful. Fukushima have given us a job interview in the J3 League, and then you knew about Milford and whatever. And we've got Yokohama to come. But in terms of this one here, because like I say, I thought this was the Standard Liège that everyone knows because it's in the Belgian Challenger Pro League. Looking at this, when you look at their history, there is no history at all. Competitions, nothing. Records, nothing. I don't really know who this club is. I mean, these are the players. Oh, there's a good valuation player there. He'll probably end up being sold. But yeah, I mean, I've got a lot to learn about Belgian football because, like I say, I just assumed this was Standard Liège, and we just don't do Standard de Liège 16 FC. But the year founded 2022 as well. The only other thing I can think of is that the original team may have gone bankrupt and in administration or whatever and dissolved. And this is like a Phoenix team. But why would they be in the Pro League and not in whatever the bottom league is? The Belgian First National Amateur Division. So, yeah, I'm very confused with that. But anyway, I'm going to go to the Yokohama interview. Haven't heard back from any of the interviews that we've been to so far. But, yeah, I'll let you know when we have. Oh, we've got job offers coming in. 2 job offers, in fact. Young Reds and Milford FC. Young Reds of the Belgian First National Amateur Division, or R Antwerp, and Milford FC of the South African National First Division Championship. So at this point in time, we could go to either Belgium or South Africa. Now, the one I'm least interested in on this, I mean, this has got a transfer budget of nothing, wage budget of 8.25 for Milford. At least we get... So this one with Young Reds, develop players for the main club. So I'm not actually managing the main club. I'm managing like the amateur version, I presume. I really don't know if I should accept it. I'm definitely going to delay, because what I want to do is I want to delay. So I want to see if that Standard de Liège job comes in. So I'm going to delay both of these. Hopefully, so Young Reds have agreed to the delay. Milford, let's delay that for a week as well. And yes, they've agreed to the delay as well. So it's the 13th of July in game. They will come back to us around the 20th of July to see if we want to go to it. If we go to any of them, at the moment, I'm inching towards Milford because I'm very nervous about accepting a job with a team that's basically the amateur version of the main team. Because does that basically mean I'm becoming a B team coach? But I don't know. We'll come back when we get some more job offers, if we get any more job offers. And yeah, hopefully we get something else coming, because neither of these two really excite me. But at the moment, the way we are situated at the minute, on the 20th of July, we're going to be joining Milford FC. We've got another job offer. It's Marumo Gallants. I think that's another one in South Africa. Yeah, South African First Division Championship. This is a club that actually has given us a transfer budget of £65,000. The wage budget looks tiny, but this is now the new favourite. Again, because we've not had the Liège one come in, I'm going to delay this one for the time being. Hopefully they agree to the delay. Yes, they have. So they will come back to me on the 21st. So at the moment, Marumo Gallants are the club that we're going to be going to. Let's see where we do end up and if Standard Liège are actually going to come in, or Standard de Liège, whoever they are. I probably should go on Google and actually do some research on them to find out if they are who I actually think they are. And I'm just kind of... So Yokohama have approached us. GAT have employed someone. They've employed someone. Charleroi have employed someone. I mean, good for all of these. I don't really care. Yokohama with a £5,000 transfer budget and a wage budget. I'm going to reject Yokohama because they don't take over Gallants for me. So we're going to walk away. The talks have broken down. We won't be going to Yokohama. Let's see if Liège come in or whether we end up at Gallants. Oh, well, it was a dream, but it's over. Standard Liège, or Standard de Liège, have decided not to offer me the job. They've given it to somebody else. We have got other options coming in. I've not read through the rest of this, actually. Kellerman takes... I mean, to be fair, you compare him to my CV. And, I mean, he's half a star better than me, but he's got a lot better attributes than what I've got. Got a bit of experience as well. He's been managing for the last 10 years. So, yeah, can't really blame him. Right, we've got these ones here. Now, if we go to the approach... Have a look at these. So I was offered a job from Fukushima. Now, I haven't actually looked at what these guys are offering me at the moment, but Fukushima are offering me £625 a week with a little bit of transfer budget, a little bit of wage budget. Gallants were my favourites, so these two I'm probably going to reject anyway. But Fukushima is pretty much level with Gallants. So Young Red, I mean, they're offering me more money, Young Reds. They're offering me £850 per week with no transfer budget and a minimal wage budget. Again, it says develop players for the main club. So I don't think we can go to Belgium and to the Young Reds. I don't think we can go to the amateur division, basically. We can probably go to the Pro League, but I don't like the sound of develop players for the main club. Give playing time to first team players. It doesn't sound... It sounds like we'll have players from the main club put down into us and we then have to play them. And yeah, if you're an expert on Belgian football, you're Belgian and you know about the Belgian pyramid, let me know in the comments because I'd love to know more about it. I will end up actually doing some research. But I think I'm walking away from Young Red. Well, I am walking away from Young Reds. Talks have broken down. Milford FC, they're only offering me £325 a week. I can get more and have more wage budget elsewhere, so we walk away from them as well. It does mean we've still got Gallants, Yokohama and Fukushima to come. Yokohama, I think I'll say no to. Fukushima is a possibility, but we could also end up going to South Africa with Marumo Gallants Football Club. We'll have a look at them when they come back in and we'll see where we actually end up going. I'm probably going to have to... Well, we'll have to edit this video down somewhat because I ideally only want it to be 30 to 40 minutes as an episode 1. Right, what we've got here. So here's Marumo Gallants. So what are they prepared to offer me? £400 a week. Oh, it's not really enough. It's really not. £65,000 transfer budget is nice. £11,000 wage budget is poor. That appeals to me because they want me to reach the playoff mini league. I think I'm rejecting them. I think I'm going to Fukushima. I think we're actually going to do our save starting in Japan in the J League, which obviously the J League's new to Football Manager as well, so it'd be amazing to actually have a look at that. But yeah, let me know if you think I've made the wrong decision here, folks. We're walking away from Marumo Gallants and we are going to end up at Fukushima. So I will bring you back when we accept Fukushima. Okay, here we are. Fukushima approached me. £675 per week with a £325,000 transfer budget. So that's the best one we've had. And a wage budget of £15,075. We signed players under the age of 23 for the first team. that's fine with me. It's why one of the reasons why I put all my attributes in, like working with youngsters and youngster knowledge and all that sort of stuff. Work within wage budget, grow the club's reputation, maximum 1 year contracts for players over the age of 32, and part of the 5 year plan, finish in mid-table in the J3 league. That seems pretty reasonable to finish mid-table, provided they're not absolute rubbish, that is. Be competitive in the All Japan Cup. Then the end of next season, record a J3 league top half finish. And they're quite happy with top half finishes, basically. So this is a club we're likely not to get sacked from, Fukushima United FC. I'll say not likely. I mean, anything's possible, but you know. And this is where we're going to go. So I'm going to start the negotiations. They're offering me £675 per week. Yes, as the manager, obviously. 1 year contract. Promotion wage rise 15%. Relegation wage drop 35%. I don't think you can get relegated. Are they in the No, they're in the J3 league, aren't they? Not the J2 league. Yeah, J3 league. Let's see if we can up that to 750. We'll go for 800. I mean, I hope this don't backfire, because I've basically got nobody else to go to. I've put all my eggs in this basket. Oh, they're giving it to us. Oh, wow, okay. I was expecting it to, at best, go orange, and then we'd end up getting something like 750. So 800 a week, I am happy with that, because it also means that if we somehow manage to get promoted this season, we'll get 15% wage rise, which, 10% of 800 is 80. So 120, so we'll be on £920 per week next season if we get promoted. Lovely stuff. Right, I'm going to finalise the deal, and I'll see you tomorrow for the first episode of the Unemployed Journeyman with Fukushima United in the Japanese J3 League.